double box shape distortion, and like if you start with a 2x4, you then rise up and like grab that 4 at its peak, and then there's this other piece where you're like, as you're rising up to it, and this one is like not an active toss. You just kind of let it go as you're moving into it, and the less you try to make it like a toss, or the less you can make it like a toss, the more it's going to tend to be linear. And yeah, some things you can like use to make it a little easier to get that like popping aspect, I guess, is as soon as you slam down, you go all the way to the bottom. So there's an interesting possibility that I haven't really got it yet, but it can sort of, you can like have your hands totally flat and just potentially just run the pattern.
Huh.
See if I can get it at all. It could be potentially like the same sharp lines, but those kind of neat too, actually. Becoming a different thing.
It's like a fastest 3-ball trick type of thing. If you time distorted it into a 3, you could set the speed record with that kind of trick. Maybe.
But any variations? You can show one variation.
Sure.
I guess. So if you take that 4x and you toss it to the outside, you get that one.
Oh, I like that.
The first move is like a wrist drop where you're throwing it across and catching underneath. And to do that from a box pattern, you keep going alongside it. It looks sort of like that. But you can do other funky things with the timing. So you can do sort of symmetric on both sides. It's sort of a hybrid box shower wrist drop thing. Or you can do more sig patterns with some swaps. So one of my favorites, the vanilla version is this, but with the shape distortion, it looks like
Nice.
like that. And then I can, teach people if they want to know how to get into it later on. And then the other one that I can't really do yet, but I think it's a cool concept. I like starting with the vanilla version. Vanilla version is a double box. And then the way complex version is looks like that.
Cool.
So it should be very geometric, all the balls in columns, catching either right here or up here. But just the timing is pretty tough to get. Something to practice.
People have been doing are single boxes. And a lot of the fun tricks involve extending it. So instead of just one throw, doing 2 throws. And so you just adding in those extensions anywhere. And then the other class of tricks is to switch the hands. So we have a circular ball. Vaguely symmetric. nothing about like these. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be doing the box, but I'm going to throw this red ball over the top. And so the purple ball is still going back and forth just the way it was, but now I've switched. So the red ball was here, now it's over here, but everything else stays the same. And I can do that pattern. So I do this, and the red ball pops over, and I'm back into the box like that. And you can also do that inverted. So if I pop over the yellow ball, now my hands are switched, and it actually feels a little bit more natural when you're doing it on top. So that one is this, pop the purple. And then you just pop it over to go back. For me, learning the popping it over transition is actually as hard as learning the trick itself. So the way I learned both of those was not to do the cool pop it over and make it all smooth. The way I learned to do them was to take an extra beat. So instead of just popping a ball over, I'm going to just go like that for a beat. So if I go like this, I've stolen an extra beat of time, and now I can switch the hands without having to switch the balls. So these two balls can stay columns, and I can switch the hands without having to do the little pop over the top of it, which looks really cool, but it took me a long time to learn. So I just steal a gap like that, and you can do that same thing for getting into the inverted top box too. So you're doing this, and then you open this. I've done this for a while. So I steal a beat, and then into this, because I've got the time. So I steal the beat, and I go straight into that, and that's. Learning that one is just like learning the inverted box all over again, for me at least. I don't know shortcuts to that. There probably are.